Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. I am JC from JustLostJC here or whatever. Okay, so let's jump into this. Okay, I'm trying out a new style. So this is how my hair starts off. It is in a twist out form. It has been really moisturized and really prepped for this style. So let's just hop into it. The style I'm going for today is a halo crown sort of braid situation. So I want to start off with dividing my hair in two sections because I want to have somewhat of a middle part. I'm going to separate the front section from the back section. Now you see me, I love a bit of a boho, effortless, gone with the wind fabulous kind of look. So because of that, I want to create some wispies, as I'm going to call them. Some, little wispies here and there throughout my hair. So for me, I'm just going to section out little pieces that I want to strategically have down and that I'm going to do a curl in. So I section off a piece in the back as well as pieces on either side in the front. So the products that I'm going to be using for this, my Eco Styler Gel, Got to Be Glue, which I'm going to use to top off, especially at the front section, some water, my Got to Be Glue spray. You can also use this if you don't have the regular gel, and my hair growth oil, which I'm going to start off with. Alright, so with the hair growth oil, I just put that on my scalp and massage it into each section before I smooth it down. I mean, you guys can see the growth. There's definitely some hair growth there, okay? So I'm very happy about that. This is the hair growth oil that I make and sell. So if you're interested, click the link down below. Get some hair growth, girl, okay? Get some hair growth. Now, for this part of the style, we just want to focus on getting the hair as flat as possible, which if you have hair like mine, 4B, 4C, you know that it has a tendency to want to puff up, which is why I'm doing this style straight out of a twist out. That is going to be a major key for me because it is more tame than if I, straight out of my twist out, mind you. It's more tame if I do it that way versus a twist out that I fluffed up and everything. So it's already kind of flat, but we want to get it flatter without putting too much water. That's going to be my plan. Okay, so first things first, you want to dampen the section. For me, it's just getting somewhat damp. I don't want to get it too wet because this is a style that I need to be able to wear ASAP. And I don't want to have too much wetness with my hair because with 4B, 4C hair, when it is wet, it does tend to puff up and I don't want that too much with this. I want to get it as flat as possible. I've also learned that this style can be done on damp hair and not soaking wet hair. I've heard that from other people and that was the method that I decided to use. So we're going to do that first. Then we're going to go in with some Eco Styler Gel, of course, Get some Eco Styler Gel, smooth that down, and you can really feel it pushing down your hair follicles, and that's what you want. You just want to put just enough that will still dry in a day. Again, it's not something that I want to have on my hair taking forever to dry. Put the Eco Styler Gel down, and then I like to top off with a bit of Got to Be Glue spray on this one. I like to save the gel form for the top of my hair because that's really, really where I want to have everything solidified and really glued down. And I find that the Got to Be Glue spray is good for the back of the hair. So once I'm done with that, I like to take my brush. Now I have a round brush, but I know some people use a flat paddle brush. Whatever works for you, but all I know is these bristles are very soft. So for me, that works for my hair. And I use this to really smooth that product in there. You really want to get this brush and smooth it in, especially the Got to Be Glue spray, which tends to be on the top layer. You want to get that into the other layers of the hair so that it really is holding and sticking in the hair. And then for that part, then I simply just use a headband or hair tie and tie that section down. And then we're going to be going on to the next section at the top and pretty much doing the same thing. Now the next section at the top is a bit bigger, but again, because my hair is pretty flat because of the way I did my twists, it's actually quite fine to do. So I'm going to do this next layer and then I'm going to add that into the ponytail. And it's going to be the same procedure, the same thing. You want to get it slightly damp with some water. And you can see the water is there. I'm still trying to get it to pretty much get to all the hair in the root. Okay, now we're in the front section of our hair. And this section we're pretty much going to do the same thing, but just doing it in two different halves. So I'm going to work with both sections together and just sweep them back so that I can tie it all at once. We're going to do the same thing that we did. Start off with that, you know, hair growth oil, honey, because we're still trying to get some growth. No matter what they say, even in this protective style, we're still able to get some growth. This is a really lovely protective style. I think it's really beautiful. It's going to be perfect for the occasion that I need it for, while also protecting my hair. But yes, I still want to get some hair growth, so I put that on my scalp and massage it kind of into the hair, because that's also going to help with some of the sheen that you see in this style. Then I like to go in with some water to dampen the hair, get it as damp as possible without getting soaking wet, because again, I need this hairstyle to dry, honey. I don't like walking around with wet hair. Luckily it is summer, so it will dry quickly, but still, it's not something that you have to get overly wet, because with 4B4C hair, when it is wet, it does shrink up, it does puff up, volume does come with that, and that's the point. I don't want this style to have too much volume. Now I'm really getting this section damp. For me, I'm working that water in there a lot more than I did in the back. Then I go in with the Eco Styler gel. Again, smoothing that in there, getting it as smooth as possible. When you feel that it's really taking into your hair and pressing your hair down, that's when you can go in with the Got To Be glue. Make sure that that Got To Be glue, as well as the Eco Styler gel, has got into all levels and layers of the hair. And then boom, add that to the ponytail. Make sure you keep your wispies out. The wispies, okay, they're important to the style, honey, okay? The way I want to do it, that's my little thing that I'm adding to this style, so the wispies are important to me. So make sure you keep that wispy out at the end. But yeah, it takes a little finessing. It takes a little, you know, getting used to, but love, love, love this style. A trick for this is the thicker your hair is, do smaller sections. So for me, I'm only doing this in 3 sections. The back section that I just did, the middle section, and then the section in the front that's going to be a middle part. But if your hair is thicker, you can section it into even smaller sections and do all these steps with each section, and that'll really, really, really get it flat. Now it's all about that Got To Be glue spray. So this one I really like to use at the top of my hair, because where I'm going is going to be very, very rainy, and also it's humid now too in New York. So with Got To Be glue spray, it's going to add an extra, or Got To Be glue gel rather, it's going to add an extra amount of hold onto my hair, meaning it's not going anywhere, and that's what I need for this to do. I need it not to go anywhere, especially at this top section. The back, I don't really mind. So you want to put a generous amount at the top and really comb that in there. So I like to use a rat tail comb to really get that in there, and then you can also use this to style the baby hairs. And once you're done with that, it's pretty simple. After that, all you have to do is wrap your hair to let it dry a little bit, and once it dries, it'll really set the style in place. Okay, let's get started on the ponytail. So I decided to wrap my hair just so at least that part can dry, the top part can dry. But at the same time, I realized we can also get started on the ponytail or the braid section of the hair. So this is the only amount of packs that I have. Obviously my hair is still quite prominent in the back, so I'm going to have to try and blend this as best as possible. Now I decided to go with Afro Marley hair just because I've seen some versions of this style with Kanekalon hair, and to me, I just don't think it blends the best with my hair texture. So I decided to go with this, and essentially you just want to use this hair to make a braid that's going to be long enough to wrap around your head in that halo style. So because I don't have that much packs of hair, I have to, in a way, stagger the hair so that I can create a longer braid. Okay, so now it's time for attaching and creating the braid. So like I said, this hair is the hair that I decided to use, and because it is not that thick, I had to figure out a way to do it. Now I wanted to braid it into my hair, like to do a long braid with my hair, but because my hair is so much, has so much volume at the top, it just wasn't looking right. You could clearly see it was a bit lumpy, so I decided to do a different way. I decided to take my hair, which this way is probably a bit more protective, but take your hair, especially if your hair is a bit longer, so you're not able to hide it seamlessly in the braid, making an even braid, because for this style it's very important that the braid is even and the thickness, for as long as the thickness can be, the thickness is the same. That's very important. I wasn't able to get that, so I just took my hair and decided to do a braid bun with my hair. So just take your hair, braid it up, and then create a bun with your hair. Now you can just tuck the end into one of the many elastics that you have in your hair, keeping it pulled back as taut as possible. And then once you're done with that, now it's time for you to work on the hair and creating the braid. Now me, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't film it because it was a really awkward angle, but I used my big toe. I used my big toe to wrap the hair around and then to create a braid that way, just so that you can anchor it, but you just need something to anchor the hair, hold the hair as you braid. Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job considering the pack of hair that I had. So attaching the braid. Luckily we have the base of the bun, so that makes it pretty simple. I just like to take a scrunchie and put it in the loop that is created when you do the braid. So when I use my my big toe, my big toe to braid it, that loop there, just take a normal scrunchie, put it between, and then you'll see that both ends of the scrunchie are there. Then you want to take one end of the scrunchie and go over the other end of the scrunchie, and that leaves you with one section that you can then use to tie onto your hair. That is the way that I secure it. You can loop it as many times as you want. I just looped it once. To me, it's fine. So it looked like you have a bun, a braid bun, and then a braid halo there. So my hair is still setting, my hair is still drying, so I'm unable to show you, but you can generally see the gist of how it's supposed to look. And of course you could use bobby pins to secure it. Now, okay, we're gonna get into the wispies. This is going to be fairly simple, I think, to do. So you already know that we created the 3 sections. Now for each section, all I'm going to do is dampen it lightly, so wet it lightly, and then use a gel. That's pretty much it. Gel and a little bit of got-to-be glue spray on it. So with this, I'm going to be using or doing straw curls. So you can see I have some straws here. I'm going to cut the straws in half just because these are very small sections, so I don't really need a long straw. But depending on what you need, of course, you can work with that. But yeah, I'm going to do a straw because it's simple enough, and I think it'll be easy for me to still move around and wrap my hair and everything like that with the straw. So yeah, I'm going to use the straw, wrap the hair around, and of course, depending on how loose you want the curl to be, that's how long you can elongate the curl down the straw, or you can make it as tight as possible with this. You guys can see I use pretty thick sections for this because I really do want the wisps. Like I want that wispy, effortless look with this style. So I'm going to make mine a bit longer. I'm not going to do it as tightly curled, but I am using the got-to-be glue so that it can hold on to whatever curl that it does have. This is the style, this is the look. Hopefully you're able to see it as best as you can. I took it out the next day and I absolutely love it. It's just a very quick, easy style, and with the gel and everything, it's going to hold in place for the time that I need it to do. So very, very happy with this. Everyone make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like this style, and I will see you in my next one.